Today, we're talking about how to stay organized and productive as a content creator. I've been doing this thing for like 15 years. I have a lot of experience with making all kinds of content and as well as working with my team. I've talked to a lot of content creators who are amazing and consistent. And I've also talked with a lot of new content creators who aren't amazing and consistent. And I've learned a lot over the years, both good and bad. And so I want to impart some wisdom to you. Hopefully you can avoid some mistakes that I've made and you can, fast track your process into being consistent, being creative, and being organized so that you can make more awesome stuff. So there are a few things I want to go over. And the last one is like, make sure to stay to the end because this is the most important one. All right. But to start out with, there is an aspect of being an entrepreneur or a content creator where you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. All right. You're going to have to do things that you've never done before. Even just the nature of creating a video is kind of strange when you think about it, because you're kind of admitting to yourself and the world that you have something to share. Right. I always felt really weird about like writing a book because it's like, dude, I'm smart enough. Like I know enough stuff to where I'm going to write a book. Like you kind of have to have that attitude towards something, but it's really true when it comes to video as well. You have to believe that you have something to share, whether it is a tutorial like I've been doing for quite a while, or a how-to video or something like that, or even if it's just like a story or a documentary or something, you have to believe that you have something to share. And so there's always some kind of stepping out of your comfort zone involved there. Now, what I've seen a lot in my life and other creators that I've observed is they get really excited about making one kind of video, and then they kind of try and make something that's really different. And while it's okay to experiment, you have to have the right expectations when you are trying something that you don't have any experience with. Now, this is a lesson that we actually had to learn pretty early on in the inception of Ground Control. Ground Control started as a company that sold color grading LUTs. And I think that we were quite good at that. We made really good LUTs and was really, really helpful. But we also realized that, well, we could record sound effects and we could sell sound effects. And we kind of thought that that business was similar to selling LUTs. And in some ways it is, in that, there's a digital online store and people buy things, but like the whole marketing was really different. And the whole like group of people that want sound effects packs was very different than the group of people that want LUT packs. And so we were stepping out of our comfort zone, but it was really, we assumed that it was going to be a very similar experience to what we had selling LUTs. And it was very different, because we didn't quite know how to speak to people who wanted sound effects. And it was essentially building like a separate brand that was into sound design and mixing and that kind of thing. And while that side of things probably would have worked and been really successful, the big problem was we didn't really have enough time and energy to basically run two separate companies. And so we ended up not doing the sound effects and just focusing on Ground Control and doing the color grading LUTs. And I see this kind of mistake a lot, where if you're used to doing one kind of video and you try and do some other kind of video, some other kind of content, you assume it's going to be really similar. And in some things it is, but in other things it's not. And there's a lot of unknowns there. And so if you're going to jump into something that is really, really different than what you normally do, it's really important, if you want to actually create things, that you give yourself lots of time, lots of grace, and you let yourself learn, because that's going to be a huge learning process, right? If you normally make tutorial videos and now you're going to make short films, that's kind of a big shift, and it's okay to do it, but you got to expect like, okay, the people that watch my tutorials aren't necessarily going to watch my short films and vice versa. Considering all of this, there is some wisdom in kind of staying in your lane. All right. Now, I don't normally like to say something like stay in your lane, because it feels very gatekeepy. It feels very like you can't do this. And I don't want to come across that way. What I mean is, if you're doing something that you enjoy and that is bringing you success, you should really consider the cost of switching to something else, because there is a lot of time and energy that goes into kind of building a new system around that. All right. So that's point number one, is kind of stay in your lane. Do what you are used to, do what works, do what you feel like you are good at. And if you can just tweak that or make that better, that is almost always better than completely inventing some new kind of content or new venture. So that's piece of advice number one. Piece of advice number 2 is design a repeatable workflow. Making content is hard. Creating things is hard. It takes time. It takes dedication. It takes planning, all of that stuff. The more things that you can kind of systematize, the more things that you can make easily repeatable, the more you can do that without making everything just feel templated, the better. So there are a lot of things that we do here in our studio that makes kind of the day-to-day creation of content a lot easier. One of them you're looking at right now. I have a camera set up and I have lighting set up, a microphone set up all the time. I have a space that's dedicated for recording. Now, I know not everybody can do that, but the closer that you can get to not having to spend a whole bunch of time setting up your camera, setting up your light, setting up your audio, the better. Because think about it, anytime that you want to make a video, you have to kind of climb over that hill of, I gotta find my camera and I gotta find the battery. And you're just making it hard for yourself when really you don't need to. Even if you don't have a really nice office like I do, you might be able to do something like set up the camera in like your bedroom or whatever so that you can always sit at the same chair and you always have the camera in the same place. And then maybe you just have to turn on a light. Anything that you can do to make just the day-to-day repeatable things easier. Oh my goodness, it is so much better. We have a way that we come up with video ideas. We have a meeting every Tuesday to talk about what we want to do for the next few videos and which videos we should do. And we throw around ideas, and that's kind of really where all of the ideas for the videos come. And so I have a list that I work through so that I'm not sitting down to record a video and I'm like, well, what video should I do? Like I already have it somewhat planned out. We have a repeatable workflow for editing, for where the footage goes and how it's stored and how the person who's editing it gets to the footage and what they do after it's done and how I review it and then who uploads it. All of that stuff is figured out, and we're not trying to figure that out on the fly for every video because that just makes everything harder. We have a workflow for how we make thumbnails, how we come up with ideas for that. We have a bunch of pictures that we kind of reuse on thumbnails. All of that stuff makes it easier to be consistent as a creator, which is very, very important. Kind of related to this is point number 3, which is be intentional. Again, I'm not just sitting down and like thinking like, oh, what kind of video should I make today? There are goals that we've talked about as a company that I've internalized as a person. There are things that we're working towards, and every video is kind of a step towards that goal. And this can be a goal for your company or a financial goal. For us, a lot of the time, it's a educational goal. Like we want to make sure that people know how to color grade or know how to use Fusion or know how to light their videos or whatever. And so it can be sometimes a series that helps people get some kind of base knowledge for something that we want to teach later. We're intentional about what kind of videos we make, whether it is a kind of a presentation or more of a podcast kind of thing like this, or whether there is a screencast kind of tutorial thing and what kind of footage we use. Now, you don't have to make everything perfect, but even just the small step of just thinking about things beforehand is so helpful. One thing that I really try and do is take 5 minutes and plan the next video after I record a video, because that can be really helpful. Because sometimes you're looking at a blank page and you're going, gosh, I don't know what to do. Especially again, if you're sitting down to record your video today and you don't know what to do, man, I mean, nothing saps your creativity faster than that. Literally after I hit the stop button on this video, I'm going to just take 2-3 minutes and just write down a couple of points for the next video, because I'm already in the video making mood. I already feel like I got a win because I just recorded a video. I'm being intentional about planning when I'm going to do things and about managing my time and energy. We're intentional about when we put out videos and the schedule. We're intentional with the thumbnails and the titles and everything. We're not just throwing things out there. These don't have to be perfect, but by putting some thought into it and by doing things on purpose, you're going to get a better result. Speaking of being intentional, point number 4 is have a calendar. This was something that really took us a long time to take into consideration and to actually do. Because I don't know about you, but for me, it feels really lame to have a calendar. As I get older, I find that it's harder to just spontaneously hang out with friends, right? I can't just like call some of my buddies and be like, yeah, let's hang out, because they have families. They have lives. They have kids' soccer games, right? And so just saying like, let's hang out tonight doesn't work most of the time. We have to schedule stuff. And I think it's so lame, but it's the truth. Like that's how things get done these days, especially when you have a job and when you have a family and when you have other interests. And so having a calendar when it comes to creating stuff, it's so important because that is a way that you can be intentional about your time. A lot of us really won't do stuff sometimes until we have a deadline. And so a calendar just kind of gives you a deadline. We just use Google Calendar. We don't have any kind of fancy project management app or anything like that. We've used all of them. And we just keep coming back to all we need is a calendar. We post whatever video is going to come out that day on the calendar. And it helps me and everybody in our team be on the same page of like, okay, on Friday, we're coming out with this video. That means a couple days before this, we should have it recorded because we need time to edit it. We need time to make the thumbnail. We need time to make sure that we have the title just right. And so that calendar helps us plan things and fit things in. It's amazing how long it took me to figure out that like, if you want to do stuff on a regular basis, you have to actually write down when you're going to do things on a regular basis. And so if you're a brand new content creator, set a day of the week to post a video. I'm convinced it's a lot less important for your audience for them to expect a video. I don't think that's as big of a thing as people say it is, but it's mostly for you so that you are always putting out a video on a regular basis if you're making videos for YouTube. For us, we're in a season right now where we're putting out a video every other day. And so we have a calendar. There's a video every other day. Is that necessary for you? I don't know. It's all a balance of time and energy and goals and all of that stuff. But whatever it is, even if it's once a month, put it on the calendar. If you're going to take this seriously, that's not going to work. If it's just a hobby and it's something you do for fun, that's totally fine. But if you want to grow your channel or grow your business or do something where you're marketing with video, you kind of have to be pretty consistent. Now, this brings us to my last point, which is going to sound almost exactly the opposite of what I just said, but you hear me out. Don't take content creation too seriously. All right. All of this stuff has kind of been like serious things like, all right, if you want to be good and you want to be consistent, like, which is really important, you got to do these things. Yes. That's if you want to be consistent, right? Even in that being consistent, we have to remember that when we're creating content, we're just making videos. Okay. It's not life or death. If you miss your deadline and you don't get a video out on Friday when you plan to, you can put it out Saturday morning and nobody's going to die. It's going to be okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't wait till next Friday to post the next video. Just put it out Saturday morning. It's not a big deal. It's more important that you do things on a regular basis than whether you do it perfect or not. I see posts on YouTube from creators saying, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't put out a video today. I promise I'll put one out next week. Nobody cares. People aren't salivating for your videos. Even people like Mr. Beast. Like, honestly, most people are not craving the next video because it's not that serious. So don't put all this pressure on yourself. Don't feel like the world is on your shoulders when you're just making videos. Is it important? Yes. Creating things is so important. And I love that you want to create things. But if you are stressed out, that is not going to help you be creative. It's not good for the world. It's not good for your family. It's not good for your health. And being creative should be a joyful thing, a service kind of thing. You are helping the world by creating things, even if it's silly stories, even if it's making people laugh, even if it's bringing attention to a topic with a documentary or an informational kind of video. But what you're doing is you're putting good into the world. And that should not be stressful on a regular basis. And so if you cannot manage one video a week, make a video every 2 weeks and don't stress about it, okay? Because it's not that big of a deal. But if you want to be consistent and you want to be organized as a content creator, these are some things that I would recommend. Stay in your lane, do what you know, design repeatable workflows to make it easier on yourself on a regular basis, be intentional about your time and your goals, have a calendar to keep yourself accountable, and overall remember it's just making videos and it should be fun. Speaking of fun, if you want an intentional, clear, repeatable workflow for color grading, which is something that we all have to do these days, I want to invite you to our Simple Color Workflow Challenge. This is a 5-day live coaching event with me. And we work through how to simplify your color grading so that it's not stressful, it's not overwhelming, and you can color grade your videos and have them look good in way less time than you're probably spending now. Plus, we get to hang out every morning, which is really cool. And if you get a VIP ticket, you get to ask me questions about your projects, and we get to hang out even more. There's a link down in the description. If you're a content creator making videos and you don't have a dedicated colorist, if color is stressful, it doesn't need to be. This is essential. All right, so click that link down below. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any takeaways, put them down in the comments. Okay. All right, there's a link there too to the color workflow challenge. We're starting really soon and I want to see you in there. Okay. So how about you get signed up? Okay. Okay.